ene ya wada oforisi obosom ne da etoso miensa ewo afie emu ene me bibi a wo hwe efie ya mo adwan wakaba ade aba ITV so braso say ensema etwa gofie memu ene amahodo so ye de ebesomwo ebusia fa che kakra ye bre no apa ho be sema miensa na enumrei chane so say kaswa Antimesi Junction ha ane studio yi ewa nsemi yeto ede amane wo ensem bia ebedi akotene ewo kasebo mu enie soafo a wohwe ensase ne wodomankoma bode a wode agya yeso ade atodwa se gadamsi a ekoso yi yehu ni se wo motu galamse no woni atutrafo sunsunye bia eni wono mo entamu sasoso na yebekọ US ambassador to Ghana wakasa pa wasi Ghana ada wonu makoma so ye pa Ghana hu hia wonu adanti ana maami wakasa ye de munchemu ebebo sanso so yebekọ a Greek ministry no ne wonu mapadwumadie bi ho entoma we ye feed Ghana program a wogidi se eba bebo ye pa be create employment eni ade a na se yekọ jabonra wonu so na kachi a MC mampeni mahama boni di ho anka mbeto no so aba no wo se wo mpe no adanti no hini wasi sa agina ye no ebusua kan ye ho numre ye de munchemu ebebo afi ebekọ GRA wonu makache dwedie mu ensam Levi hu sansam wondo kobo bi di aba eno so ye de bebo enne enumre na afi ene gidie mu nsam enso ka ho bi na yakọ enkrofo amanso midi edache hima afia akonwa etwa ye ho aba na nsam nchemu atoaso Kasie bono emunchiremu enie ononyamfo Emmanuel Kofi Amebua Lands and Natural Resources Minister wakasa ade atodwa etwemu ese wonu mo yegalam se ewo man emuonu wonu mo yetutrafo pa we yetuatidom kuonu wonu ka ho bi esansensemmone a wonu mu die ese kwaye sensuo semfudie empo ese enobai ewo memu no enya de papa a ese yeso wonu eso enuti no wonu hwehweye egu apono so a ye kyewa krom hamra enu bedi nyonyonyonyo netimi abopa ma wonu mu abonsase ehoban ensem we ware tudwa ewon semtwofo nhyiemu a ekoso ewon kwan.
We have also, as you know, within this short period brought about the Blue Water Initiative, which target is to train 2,000 young people as blue water guards to monitor and report illegal activities. Dedicated courts in dealing with this terrorists, and that's how we see them. They are terrorists. There are next steps that we are focusing on. There are major next steps that we focus on. As you know, one of the reasons why we are where we are, that everybody is digging everywhere looking for gold, is that how do we organize them better? And that's our long-term policy. You see that if you look at what this government is focused on, these military actions are very critical. Well, we believe that ultimately, policy interventions and key strategies in reforming the sector are going to play a critical role in dealing with these issues. For example, we have talked about making sure that we basically change from small scale and bring more changes. We are going to have small scale, medium scale, and large scale. We believe that these reforms are very critical. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources is committed to eradicating illegal mining. However, given the challenge, complex and multifaceted nature, the government urges all stakeholders, including traditional leaders, local assemblies, civil society, to actively support these efforts to safeguard Ghana's natural resources, to preserve it for our future generations.
Wo galamse ho ensemu ye Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, one more any Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, and afi World Bank akabomu apa Ghana National Landscape for mu entuma ewon kwan na tumupo ina ene se one beto to adwene ahwe galamsey ya edi wo manyi nyam prempren titru enso ahodwo esano no kwane wo befa so etimi aso ano na dwumadie no ye nefua miensa enrada en wonum hyase mukwagu echinada epoboso ne da etoso enan Marriott Hotel eno no ewon kwan ho ena dwumadie na ebekoso stakeholders ya hodo yina eka ho ebiema wonum etoto adwene afa galamsey eho
One more echo jumedie asibie government officials, development partners, civil society organizations, and afe private sector representatives. Sa jumedie aba ewo bra Ghana ekwa hohiehie mu ewo yenkwaye ahodo ya yenkwaye SSA yensase SSA and afe yensuwa ya SSA. Enkomodie no fapem ejina kwan papa empanifo betimi afaso na wono etimi adua koko dodo no ama eso abamfa so ama omeyi afi kwan ahodo ebetimi afaso aboye nkwaye eho ban yensase ahodo nso se de beye mpanifo betimi ahwe na yabo eho ban na afi yenkuro nkumenkuma no wonom nso etimi enya empuntu Openi a wakasa ye ewo dwumedie no ahyase no Deputy Minister of Lands and Natural Resources Alhaji Suleiman Yusuf ne kasa ye mu no enodi to dwa se aban no aye krado pa ese obesore na afi wakon atia ohawa hodo ya illegal mining galamsey tuo no ede ebre wo man na afi wabo yensa ase eho ban
mesre se mu media mfo mboaye na de ekose nyina munim se aban de efata se ye baaye no ye pese ye complaints na ye baaye no na noma bebre enkoso se de efata se enkoso na ye pese be complain enti na ye start ye say all the foreign reserve and can ye lose our reserves no we are trying to reclaim them. For instance, out of 288 forest reserve ayewo answer na ye baaye no about 44 of them were already taken over. About 9 of them were completely taken over. Yentimi nkorampo. Ye forest gas yentimi nkorampo. Na yakase. Mudawuruma. Ene ye nyina ejuma ye yakabuma ye enti. Yetimi age 7. Na ye gusi said the aka no so ye den. Ye beje. Nti mesre say media for ye nyina ye nkabum all stakeholders. Ahim for stakeholders everywhere. Galamsey asem no. Enye ne papa kwa asem. Ena enye Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources nko asem nyina asem ti kuma yenka bom na yen wese de be because it has to do with our livelihood nde bimu wo ho omuka say in some communities yenko of krampo they are giving birth to children with some kind of deformities nti me stress ma yenka say ya ba yenko asem nyina asem yen bo ban yen ho na yen ho de be ye na nyina yenka bom na yentimi solve our problem no.
Deputy CEO Emma Environmental General Service Protection Owura Jacob Anokware enso ene central for ekasai.
We have taken a solemn vow to ensure that we regularize mining. We are in touch with the galamseyers and we are making them understand the extent to which some of the illegalities are making life unbearable for the community dwellers. There are communities in this country that have long been dependent on water from rivers for drinking, for washing, and for other activities. Now these people cannot depend on these water bodies anymore. Fishermen who hitherto could get fish from these water bodies to sustain their livelihoods can no longer get fish to sustain their families. In fact, most of the cash crops, the food crops, the cassava, the yam, look, if you are in the city or you are outside this country and you think you are safe from these activities, from the poisoning of our waters, then you must rethink. Because the same land that has been polluted, that contains mercury, that contains lead, and other toxic chemicals are going into the food crops, the tuber crops that the farmers are producing, and then they will bring it to the market, they will send it outside this country, and as you consume them, bioaccumulation of these chemicals, toxins, in your liver will cause serious damage.
Yemfi garamse ho sansemi emuni afa ye ninchemu ewo kuaye wono akache na asoya ehwe enuane ni kwa ho samso ewo mayimu enso so apadwumade bi ho ntuma enede ya a edin edaso eye Feed Ghana program so afọ no na daso ya no eye ononyamfo Eric Opoku won na hwe ye ma won apa ho entuma wo twese we eba beboa ye pa amakuayo aya akono manuane abusu o mamu Ghana fo nya aduane adi full security hun sansam ni na eto ebetwa afen so raw materials ya won ma yekua no sese won ensa kan na no won behwe e provide we ne beboa abie enwuma enso so ama ahye emabunu titru ene emma kena ewo kuayo minatimi aboye pa makuayo etintim ewo man.
Daunting challenges that jeopardize food security, economic stability, and overall national progress. The country's heavy reliance on food imports, which totals over $2 billion per year, with poultry alone accounting for over $300 million, places Ghana at risk of external market fluctuations and currency instability. This dependency exacerbates food inflation, significantly affecting households and aggravating economic hardships for the most vulnerable populations. Although blessed with abundant agricultural resources, Ghana has struggled with food production inefficiencies, lack of infrastructure, limited access to essential inputs, and weak integration within the agricultural value chain. The smallholder farmers, who represent the backbone of the agricultural workforce, encounter formidable obstacles, such as barriers to mechanization, difficulty in securing financing, and the absence of modern farming methods. These challenges hinder the ability to scale up operations and meet the increasing market demands. Additionally, substantial post-harvest losses persist due to insufficient storage and processing facilities, poor transportation networks, and inefficient market connections. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in response to these pressing issues, the government of Ghana, through the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, has adopted the Agriculture for Economic Transformation Agenda, (AITA). This initiative aims to drive the growth and modernization of the agricultural sector, with goals to bolster agribusiness development, secure food availability, mitigate food inflation, increase export revenues, and generate sustainable job opportunities for the youth of our country. To effectively realize this vision, MOFA is about to roll out the Feed Ghana program as its flagship program. This is a comprehensive program designed to implement all elements of the AITA. The Feed Ghana program is an integrated agricultural acceleration program to boost agricultural production, to feed Ghanaians, and provide raw materials for agro-industry and create jobs. These efforts are intended to ultimately ensure food security, alleviate inflationary pressures on food prices, increase export potential, and support sustained economic growth in the long term.
War and some fufromu no urban keys for Sumana Bagman, our yechi amehene ewo mrashe bedwemu, so area to draw water say, who be here ye pa, say, eba aya a memoir, civil society organizations, any eku ahudo and so no. One we na do one bekan who be a brano no, woman womu ebedi and sawasona etimi abwa ye pa, ma mrashe bedwafo dwuma wonum die wo memo se periperiya na afe eba accountability a bibibia akoso wano ntino ehu behia se bra no wonum any civil society organizations yi ebedinsa woso na etimi aboa what in some way etudwa wabra wone civil society organizations ani ekuobie ehie mo a wonum to adwene ahwe sedia Ghana mashibedum dwumedie nyama besipi esita.
As we are developing a system of governance, a system that is to lead all of us, we have moved away from the traditional norms that talk about multi-party democracy, parliamentary democracy, let the minority have their say, the majority their way. All those things, we have moved beyond that. And now we talk about inclusivity, we talk about participatory democracy, we are talking about leaving nobody behind. And you cannot have a few people doing all this. You need to really anchor a democracy on what the concept really means, governance of the people. And in trying to do that, you need to be able to identify the pillars. And civil society is a major pillar.
Na America mampeni Donald Trump esignaye eto odi wu aman bi so no se wo de Ghana ba be kan wo twe se wo di bibi fi Ghana US memu akoton a 10% to and what they atoso na sansemi abeto dwa no nam so ema US anamusin wo Ghana ha say ma me Virginia power akasa de atodwa se ema Ghana fuma we mu wonu mabamu ema wonu mu hahai esan say Ghana eda o man US akoma so papa emfa ho eni ginesi a mampani Donald Trump SCA eba eye international trade relations ya Ghana eka man a eda US man no akoma so
Nensem yi beto dwa e wo bra America mampani Donald Trump esiginaye na odo nensa hyenkrata ase ede eto ahodo atoto amanya ahodo a wonum ekra niema eba America man no emu ebeton no eso Ghana eka amanya ahodo bi a wode eto eye ohanchechemu edu 10% ede ato wonum eso na we ene nipa dodo no a ekasa efa ohawa ahodo ya ebetumi ede aba America ene Ghana ntem ewo edwadie mu afi wo hawo ebetimi ede aba ewiase aman nyina ene America entem sebano edwadie mu a wo mo chese we no eyade ebetimi aha adwen ni nyina emu no woto aso ekire mu se eyade America man no ene Ghana man ewo ayonkofa emu yeden pa se ebano abakosem amamre ene amane ena afei edwadie a eyade ayonkofa awo ho no mo achepa se ye kase no wo se ensunsuanso a etimi ede aba so anasem faso a etumi ede aba so krampo no eye $3 billion. Omampani Donald Trump ni ginesie yi a wasi eye 10% eto yi eyade a April bosomya ye womu edi nefua enumu a ena ebesha ase aye adwuma ya ehye International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977 no ase America mampani Donald Trump echiremu ana amanya hoduo bi a wonomu enema womo ekraba America man mu no edoso ebro ebi ede so no eyade a womo eto no won beye eno sonko na eno becha ase aye adwuma ebreti a wa bi echi ewo bra ne wadi kan de beto edwai ahya ase eye adwuma wo kiremu ana eto a wode beto wonom so no ebegina nia saa aman no ede ato America for eniema so no ne fa na America man so ede bema wonom
Jetwa kase bono eso Ohinipon edema Gonjaland eye Jabonwura bi kunutu jewu swale awodikan na mampeni John Dramani Mahama ebo wora Brahima Al-Hassan di se wono ana wonkoye eye nanemusini ewo Gonja West mensinu emu no no ewo Savannah Mantamu na sadi eba ye so wohini etrese wonde wagini tumu a enye Enya Brahima Al-Hassan and wopese wobeye mensi krache ewo sa mensi nu emu enuti wonfoa mampeni appointment na wayɛ no ɛso ɛmfa ho mpo sɛ abato bɛkɔ so afɔ panin
Wanano Bnada Epribisume ne dana etoso mienu ena openi ya omapeni abo nidin wo kopie mu ewo damongo na sade amamre ne amane atie no obanan ekoda mongowura Seidu Kelly ne nan ase se wondi nanim na wonfa no enkochea ohempon yi nenso wobra wonmo ebetu anamo no ena damongowura enya enkra efri Jakpa Palace ese wo hempon yi ese wompese wobehu openi yi nanim kra enam so Madam Mongowura ene ne mpanimfo ena afe NDC amanyoko no mpanimfo ya branch chairman eka ho no wono mo esan ye amanebo a efri NDC amanyoko no ne fa ya ewo bole ekira na Owura Brahma esan etu anamon biom ya wonam eye Islamic cleric ya wono mo ewo dakoripe ya ewo bole mensini mu no ena so senka wono mo nso enkoja no na onkwaje ohene yi ensemu enhira na nso wono mo enso ete ohene no eginasie no wono mo nso anko ewo mu se ne nam so emasa ensemi ekoso no emu enya na ho enipa bi ekiremu a na ensase ho manso bi ewo bole magistrate court ya efa yagbonwura ena afi wo pani ya omanpani abonidin enipa bi a eben no eho we nam so amanipa dodo no a ekasa efa ho ya ebimu eta yagbonwura ne ginasie no echi ya afoforo nso ekase betimi a anka wo mfa nche
Wa aban ana musifo din aba montian wodi wani kiremu ewo atwoma wa bieja south empeswa no asonso a wo wura bosai wisdom buama wono no ye kane parliamentary candidate arema NDC amanyoko wona mapani John Dramani Mahama aboni din se wonkoye mensi krache ewo atwoma wa bieja south na so no NDC fo emuni ya wo matiko se kumapai wo muso wono so wo mpɛ no esanse wonu a na kutia candidate ya watwinity ho ma ni dinto enu tinya de wonu so ebegina tum ne kina so eka ho NDC chairman wo atwuma wa bieja south empeso aso Abu Sadiq ni sentofo adi nkomo de ntia opani wo mu ngini ntum
ewo party office ye atwuma wa bieja yi nipa minu eye yira Derek Usu Boaten ena yira Boache itaboache ewo wase omuna executive no ye nyina etena se hu se omu bia mpanifo be yi mu abra ya bia e betimi na aye adwuma abrante ye nam na homa so a wode soliti aye yi ne me mpanifo ehia yi ya se ye kiremu a na ye nkura nipa me san nkura nipa me no omuna ye de ye di omutum se betimi no ma aye adwuma ye ka no party ne ye de ebuo ma mpanifo enibre aba eti ye wo se me mpanifo te se edi na enibre omu no mu hwe no mu bebi me nya abrante we ya ono de o trade de o kana edosun efa ye national chairman ho me o fara no me ye den o MC no de be ma me ye de ye se yire se dun jetia won tisa o he ba bia party ni modern mo ekro oni ye start ye dwuma nyina no ye ma ye mpenifo asote mpenifo se munya abotre party ni ntidi o mbeka bia no ni ye petumi na wo se ye to ye boase ye nya tumi na wie ye se ye mpenifo ye wira se dun jetia ye ma mpanyini ele na pamfo atwuma mo be just out constituency chairman ameka say me ne mpanipo eye yewira wo say wisdom bo ama ye ntimi no entra ha e wo kwan a wo de fa so ebuo enim ya training nyina gu ha ne ye hwese nke mpanipo frɛ wo mukrampo no ebi o mefrɛ ye mu bi na o magusa ye petition na de ba ne say emu nsɛm te say wotimba constituency office e be bo constituency fo du ya say wa won support me say me ye MC no suo mo no ne mikroma bo so nkumu nyina sebe ye koto abase ye betranse ara ye koto abase ye biwu eyesu ya bri baba me mpeni fo mu tie ye we de ye to nkra wo ye nim de e wachire ye mrante aye no mu ko adwuma nyina o mo tae ho hia o mani abri ye so ye baba ba enye ye de ba
ni nyina emu no atwema nwabieja South Women Organizer Hajia Fati Adams ediato edwase Ghana School Feeding Programs ya ema emofrey aduane edi kwa dabia no ade se ekwa hohihia mu pa esanse empanifo ibi aton ede amenipa bi a wonum enim wom mpo
moden na yetumi de papa John Dramani Mahama eba power emma no nso enim se school feeding eye omoja pade na nsama yetete na me shop ekofo ba mono mini no waton school feed na maye ti minim sɛ ya maame agye afaase a ɔda school feeding ano ɛwɔ national ɔmama ya so te sɛ school feeding no yɛnya complete ho asɛm nti yɛnyɛ yaso te sɛ de yɛnte hwee but yɛ PC a yɛka na asɛm a yɛnya mo ne din as MMCE ɛnɛ wobɛte na wɔyɛ aba sɛ boss de wɔyɛ ama me wobɛte na wɔyɛ aba sɛ boss atɔn school feeding na ha ama me ti ɛma no ani abere me so sɛbe ɛsɛ menni asomdue koraa ɛwɔ atwoma wa de agya because
Yemfi amanyo semwe na yefa ye ninchemu ewo nsem fufuro mu o na adehia wo no mo ewo kwashigu eno no ewo ablekuma north mensinu emu o ewo nkranmantam mu enso de adesrede ato empenfo enim etwere se enso ye fiase etoto sese wono mo da wo mo no ni na ene se enso kwan ba bia enso to sese efa no wo pani bi aba be si kwan no enu tinso ni to ya na atwiafo wo mo so emponso ni tumi to wa amasaman na enam kwan mu aduru hɔ na ebetwiafo wɔn nso wɔn mu afiafie mu asɛsɛ wɔn nneɛma ɛno to wɔn stressɛ ɛnumani ya mpan sɛ ɔpani no panfo hwɛ na wɔn mu ɛmɛhwɛm wɔn fa yie ɛnto sanse baabi a wɔasi saa kwan no ɛha wɔn mu yie pa Sariki Alhaji Yusuf ɛyɛ Kwashibu Santa Maria Zongo Chief wɔn ama ne eboni black ɛtwe nkomo abra okopie kɔhwɛ dia ɛkɔso ɛwɔ hɔ
na mu Kwashibu ɛmɛ sɛ Kwashibu a nipa bebre omuti Kwashibu nka eni sensu oto a yiri anso yiri ha no no enya de kitwa ye boy ho wode bia se ye be se de be ya ha no betum ko na se si ye kakrapo a se nso tam na ye bridge no n1 no aha ya na ka bia fa ebi krapo na wo se de ba bridge na se road no aiden a choke nti o se ye nya access card no ko pure main road no so but because obi onu ni self interest nti muhwe ade a waye onu wato land aye me first one ewie anase wase ni store ewie owie no enna ni pada seni o sheda abrobonti of 6 inches block enne ewo bridge na aban aye no so enye ni self interest and of 6 inches block abun be yenti sebi enna wa concrete ewo chiri se de be ya se bua embu wohwa obehu nti me na me authorize municipal assembly and ebubu ye nti makacho osombo tutu se de be ya se so no ayiri ewewe so a obenya kọ akọ but because of their wire nti se so no ba nti omo omo no omo bre ntu ase na se nya so bia na to na se yai ba mo hwe omo dem o ene mo ma ebia obi occupation waje kakra bia odi beto duane di ni we da se dan na wo wire we e di si kwan a se o to kwan fa mo hwe kwan no su hwe se aye kwan dia oye se so no sa wo ho na kwan eri wo bo na komito a na esi aban na wo ya aban obi a mi mehu se zongo chief e wa ha mi mehu se wo si dan e wo kwan no na fre abisi assembly meni dom ya bubunu
adehye bi nso a wotete mpɔtam hɔ ene ITV amane boni black kasa ye a wɔn de adesrede eto mpanifo anim sɛ animanimu yi a wɔn mmɛyɛ wɔn mmoa sɛ de bɛyɛ ensuyire ensan emfa obi abiem
ha ye betena akora na gata we enye kasiesi me papa fie wɔn bebu wɔ ɛna wɔn se wɔn wia wɔn beto e wɔ na mai besi nne almost 10 years be bia nsuo tɔ a ewura yɛ dem enu na nanse me ho fa me but edwuma maye o dem okra me gina okra still me ni so kra biri e ma still okra me kitchen okra nso ta ha me pepa me ho nyina me pepa e nto mo hire wa ha pa ti yesere mo e kwa mo me ne ntemai
at least ye bridge no 7 e munye ma e kra e bridge no mo so kakra bi e be to kakra bi na say flat the last 3 days today and midnight so to amasama be sin
yes will be any point ama nsuo no senka yiri na omunya nwie ntino tumi flow fa bridge no so na akwa to the mainstream no so but because of blockage no ntina ama nsuo no ba ntumi nkọ it create erosion a divide kwan no a epie won chen na se ye o mantem na se bibi ba won sema megidi se ye de boa mpotem ma ne course na ekoye menkumenku amade
dwadie ni sikasem enedruso hi nyumeko ahodo ye telcos ne betting companies ni wo twa e-levy betting tax anything no levy no wo mo hwe se wo mo de saafo ni nyina sika ebesanso ama wo mo. Now was answer Ghana Revenue Authority one more extra say. The entire one more this answer we now add to one no. One more yeshede nyina enwa dana mampenit Sasha siano na etwa say. One more so machine na reset one be reset bibia na afiase e de ayadwuma eno ti April 2nd.
Was said the Bank of Ghana ebo amanye no $1 no 15 cedis 52 pesos and as a wupe bi aton so 15 cedis 53 pesos. British pound no so 20 cedis 14 pesos and as a wupe bi so 20 cedis 16 pesos. Euro no so ejina 16 cedis 85 pesos and as a wupe bi so 16 cedis 86 pesos. Ehwehwemu a ITV business desk ye ewo miaya ye sesan sika ahodo ewo muno na chese dollar ba kono se ye kase ejina 16 Ghana cedis and a pound no so ejina 20 cedis 60 pesos. Afe euro no so ejina 17 cedis 40 pesos. Said the ebeye na mpanifo betimi aboa na cedi no ejina ne naso no wo last quarter 2024 emuno Bank of Ghana eton $200 million.
Abusia ye page na dwade ni sika semi so na ya tonka ya ba agode mu nsam ebre ason Sylvester Dakwa aka the sports doctor wo de beto akase bono eso ye ba sisia.